Hey Double O's, it's Blake over at Bond Life Chicago with another 005 breakdown. Sorry it's been a little while, been a little busy, a little hectic, but we're back. Today, Dr. No, Bond versus Quarrel and Puss-Feller in the bar area. Obviously kind of like where they keep the alcohol back in the cellar there. So obviously Quarrel lures Bond into this area. He wants to talk privately to him. Bond's trying to get some information. And as they walk back into the area, Quarrel pulls a knife on him, and he's sitting down at first, but he's going to figure out what Bond's all about. And as Bond is kind of standing there waiting, Puss-Feller comes up from behind him and grabs Bond over Bond's shoulders, kind of like in the bicep area from behind and over. Now that's key when thinking about how to escape. This fight isn't that long. It's just a few quick moves. But we're going to kind of dive into some specifics as to how you can try to protect yourself if somebody grabs you the same way. With that, there's just a really few just basic strikes and a little bit of weapon defense. Obviously, Quarrel's got a knife on Bond. So as Puss-Feller's holding on to Bond from behind, Quarrel walks up to him and he's got the knife here, and no use in fighting Bond. Puss-Feller wrestles, even in Chicago we can pronounce it right, wrestles alligators. And as he's walking up, he gets kind of close. A knife is a pretty short-ranged weapon. Bond's able to do an up kick to Quarrel's arm, knocking that knife away, and then he does a second one. This one be a front kick, and he kicks Quarrel in the chest area, knocking him back into the boxes. Then from there, he's able to kind of just turn and grab Puss-Feller, and he does a hip toss, knocking him into Quarrel as well. As the two of them are trying to get up, Bond's able to get to his shoulder holster, pull out the Walther, and now he's got him at gunpoint. He's won the fight ultimately, but of course we know Leiter comes up behind him and he draws down on Bond from behind with a gun. Later they find out that they shop in the same place from Civil Row or across the pond. So the fight's over at that point, but like I said, we're going to dive a little deeper. Puss-Feller grabs Bond from behind and over the arms. Now, this changes if somebody grabs you under the arms, but if somebody were to grab you over the arms, the best way to try to defend yourself to defeat that is kind of, so think like as a shrugging motion, which would bring their arms up, and at the same time that you shrug, you drop your weight down, which basically changes the levels. Ultimately, somebody's going to just end up holding you here, and you're going to be lower, you're going to be dropped down. They still might be holding on to you depending on how tightly, but you're going to be able to change that level. And then if you can backstep, you can either turn and get your head and your upper body out, or you can even, hard to show with one person, but if you were to shrug and drop, backstep, you can even grab like their thighs and pick them up and slam them or drop them. Again, I wouldn't do that if I was on my own and I didn't practice these moves, but that would be how you would get out if somebody were to grab you like that. Hope you guys like this one. If you guys have any requests or any special requests for the next one, please let me know. As always, please, if you're serious about self-defense and martial arts, find a gym in your local area. It's a great way to stay safe. It's a great way to stay fit. And it's a great way to bring a little bit of Bond into your everyday life. See you guys next time.